My dad charged me rent, then kicked me out for a nursery. Grandpa stepped in and changed everything. I'm posting from a throwaway because I don't want this tied to my main. I'm 21 and lost my mom when I was 14. Dad remarried when I was 17. My stepmom had a daughter before me, Cassie, who's 15. They had a son 3 years ago, and last week she had a girl. I've worked since I was 16 so I could buy my own stuff. When I turned 18, Dad said I was an adult and had to pay rent. He called it only $500 because he'd still cover food and basics. I hated it and we argued, but I paid every month. That was the deal until 7 months ago. One night, Dad told me I had 2 months to move out. Stepmom was pregnant and they needed my room for the baby. I stared at him because both of them had private offices. She stays home with my little brother and didn't even need an office. He said the decision was made. I went to bed sick and angry. For what it's worth, I've never had a war with my stepmom. We get along fine. She's not a cartoon villain. Cassie and I are close. I help with homework and she tells me stuff she won't tell others. I love that kid. None of that changed the fact that I was about to be pushed out of my home. I'm in college for civil engineering and work part-time. I can't afford my own place. I called my aunt, voice shaking, and asked if I could stay with her while I figured things out. I offered to pay rent. She went quiet, then asked me to repeat what Dad said. She told me to pack a bag and come over. The next morning, my grandpa showed up at our house. He and Dad went into the kitchen and shut the door. Their voices got loud. I couldn't make out words, just tone. After a while, Grandpa came to my room and sat on the edge of the bed. He said I had 3 choices. Option 1, stay at Dad's and keep everything the same but stop paying rent. Option 2, move in with him and Grandma or my aunt. Option 3, he'd set me up in a place of my own and cover rent and costs. He told me I didn't need to decide right then. I could stay put and think. I felt relief rush through me. I wanted to believe the storm had passed. I stayed, but in the days after, Dad and my stepmom turned cold. Doors shut when I walked down the hall. They barely spoke to me. Even Cassie asked why they were mad. Being in my own house felt like walking on eggshells. I called Grandpa and said I was ready to move. He said he'd take care of it. 2 weeks later, he handed me keys to one of his rentals. He helped me move my bed and boxes. He bought me a fridge and a stove and the basics. Then he put a check in my hand for $15,000. He told me, as long as I'm studying or working, I can live there rent-free as long as I need. I hugged him and tried not to cry. I set up the apartment. I slept on the mattress on the floor and fried eggs in a new pan. The place was quiet in a good way. I did homework at the small table, set an alarm for my shift, and felt like I could finally breathe. I went low contact with Dad. He didn't visit. I didn't push. I missed my siblings so much it hurt. 2 weeks ago, my stepmom gave birth. I visited the hospital. It was a little awkward, but I held my baby sister and felt my chest loosen. The hallway smelled like sanitizer. Dad hovered while I held her. A few days later, Dad called. He said he missed me. The kids missed me too. He apologized for making me move out and asked me to come back home. I told him I'd think about it. That night, I went to my aunt's and told her what he said. My cousin gave a short laugh and said, I bet he does. I asked what that meant. That's when I learned what I should have known all along. The house we grew up in isn't Dad's. It's Grandpa's. Same for my aunt's place. Grandpa never wanted his kids or grandkids to worry about a roof or food. When I called my aunt, she called him. He was furious that Dad charged me rent and tried to kick me out. He told Dad he'd evict him if it ever happened again. The $15,000 Grandpa gave me wasn't random. It's basically the rent I paid Dad since I turned 18. Now Grandpa is making Dad pay it back. He's also charging Dad $1,200 a month for the rent loss on the unit I'm living in. I felt dumb for not seeing it. We always had a nice house, trips, comfort. I thought Dad made good money. Turns out Grandpa was covering a lot behind the scenes. My cousin thinks Dad is stressed now. 3 kids, 1 income, and payback to Grandpa. He says Dad wants me back so the pressure stops. I sat with that for days. I love my siblings. I also love living on my own. I kept replaying the months of cold shoulders, the slammed doors, the way I begged for time. I kept thinking about Grandpa lifting me up while my own dad pushed me out. Monday, I called Dad. My hands were shaking. I told him I wasn't moving back. I said I wanted to see the kids and I was open to dinners and visits, but I'm staying where I am. He was quiet for a long second, then said he understood. I said thanks and hung up. Now my cousin is saying Dad's struggling because of me. Was I wrong for leaving?